My entitled aunt desperately wants to buy back a house she sold to my sister for less than a third of the price. My aunt has been bleeding our family dry for years. She'd borrow 50,000 pesos from my mom for emergencies that somehow always involved new designer bags showing up on her Facebook. My eldest sister would demand repayment, my aunt would cry about family loyalty, and my mom would cave every single time. But my eldest sister never forgot. She kept a literal spreadsheet of every peso my aunt owed us. When my aunt threatened to sue her for harassment, my sister just laughed and said, "Please do, I have receipts." My aunt paid up, called us all ungrateful, and swore she'd never speak to us again. That lasted exactly 3 weeks. Then came the house situation. My aunt claimed she was downsizing because her kids moved out and the place was too big to maintain alone. She wanted someone in the family to buy it to preserve memories. My youngest sister wasn't interested at first. She had 2 kids in private school and wasn't looking to buy property. But my aunt knew how to work people. She reminded my sister about all our childhood summers there, the basketball court out front where her boys could play, how her husband could finally have space for his gym equipment. She made it sound perfect. The price? 1 million pesos. My brother-in-law did the math and realized it was 60% below market value. My eldest sister warned them it was too good to be true, but my youngest sister's husband saw it as the deal of a lifetime. They agreed, with my eldest sister handling all the legal paperwork to make sure everything was ironclad. My aunt got a generous 6 months to move out. When my sister finally got the keys and walked inside, she nearly threw up. The walls had water damage and mold creeping through. The kitchen ceiling was partially caved in. The master bathroom had a crack in the foundation that went straight through to the yard. The supposedly minor repairs needed were actually structural nightmares. My aunt had lived like this for years and said nothing, but my sister didn't back out. She saw what the house could become. She took out a renovation loan for 2.5 million pesos and got to work. Over 8 months, she transformed that disaster into something incredible. New marble countertops, restored original hardwood floors, completely rebuilt kitchen, added a second bathroom, landscaped the entire yard. She documented everything on Instagram. The before and after posts got shared thousands of times in our local community. Real estate agents started commenting, asking if she'd consider selling. One appraiser estimated the house was now worth 5 million, maybe more. That's when my aunt started appearing. First, she'd drive by slowly, stopping to stare. Then she started showing up during the day when my sister was at work, telling the contractors she just wanted to check on her old home. My sister had to literally ban her from the property. Then the calls started. My aunt was crying, saying she made a horrible mistake and didn't realize how much the house meant to her. She offered to buy it back for exactly what she sold it, 1 million pesos. My sister said no. My aunt raised it to 1.5 million, then 2 million. Still no. She tried going through my mom, saying my sister was being cruel and vindictive. My mom actually tried to guilt trip my sister into considering it. That's when my eldest sister stepped in. She reminded my mom of every unpaid loan, every manipulation, every time my aunt had taken advantage of our family's kindness. She pulled out her spreadsheet and showed my mom that my aunt had borrowed over 300,000 pesos over the years that she'd only paid back after being threatened with legal action. Last month, my aunt tried one final move. She got my uncle involved, claiming the house should have gone to him since he's technically the man of her household. He showed up at my sister's door with papers claiming right of first refusal. My eldest sister, who handled the original contract, took one look and said, "There's no such clause, and you know it. Leave before I call the police." My youngest sister finally had enough. She looked my aunt dead in the eye at a family gathering and said, "You told us you'd never speak to our family again, remember? I'm just respecting your wishes. The house isn't for sale. Not now, not ever." My aunt stormed out. Last week, she showed up at my sister's workplace trying to negotiate in person. Security had to escort her out. The house still isn't for sale.